Hello students, today's topic is rational and equitable use of water. Rational, that means in a limited way, limited water. Equitable, equal. The share of water should be divided equally among all the people, and that too with a limited way. Is it possible? Are you doing like that? Yes, it is possible. And the scheme which was followed, implemented by the government and some villages, and where they followed the systems, made it possible to use the water in a rational and equitable manner. Water should be used in a fair and judicious manner. Fair, without any discrimination, and fair and judicious, that means by following the rules and regulations. But let us see what are those. Scheme. So, related to this rational and equitable use of water, some schemes were also implemented by the central government. That is in short called as PMAGY, Pradhan Mantri Adarsh Gram Yojana. This is very important. Pradhan Mantri Adarsh Gram Yojana. The scheme was launched in 2014. The selected villages were the first one Hiwari Bazar of Maharashtra, and second one Gangadevapalli of Telangana, third one Punsari village of Gujarat. So in textbook the example of Hiwari Bazar is given, which we are going to discuss now. Hiwari Bazar, one of the place of Ahmednagar district, and which is towards the east part of Western Ghats, Sahyadris, and declared as a drought prone area. It is as situated towards the east part of Sahyadris or Western Ghats. It is a rain shadow region. So it is declared by the government as drought prone area. But to check the problem, what the villagers did, what the government did. So anyhow the villages were selected, that is Hiwari Bazar, Gangadevapalli and Punsari, and some more villages were selected by the government to implement the scheme of Pradhan Mantri Adarsh Gram Yojana. But before that, in Hiwari Bazar, the village people, they made the village to select as one of the Adarsh village, Adarsh Gram, those preconditions. What made the village to select as Adarsh Gram? Let us discuss. Those preconditions which selected Hiwari Bazar as Adarsh Gram were some bands, bandis. Those are, they inspired. The village actually, when it was declared by the government that drought prone area, they inspired by the village belongs to Anna Hazare, the village Ralegaon Siddhi. Anna Hazare, who made the village, the dry village, with the help of watersheds and check dams, and he made it possible there, recharging of underground water, and he became one of the best example for the water management, not only in India but to the other countries also. So it inspired even Hiwari Bazar, and they adopted some of the personal restrictions, bans. Those are, the first one, preconditions. Let us give the heading preconditions which made Hiwari Bazar to select as Adarsh Gram by central government. First one is Khuridbandi. It means ban on felling trees. Ban on felling trees. They decided not to cut the trees to stop deforestation. Second one, Charai Bandi. Charai Bandi means ban of free grazing. This is Charai Bandi, ban and free grazing to check the soil erosion and to protect the soil. Third one, Nasbandi. Nasbandi, its meaning is family planning. To control population. Fourth one, Nashabandi. Ban and liquor. In villages, usually that is a common thing. Morning, the village people, they work in the fields and somewhere else. Evening, usually the gents while coming, they consume liquor and they waste the money. So first of all, the villagers, they realized what is the liquor and how it is ruined their lives. So Nashabandi. Apart from these most important bandis, bans, the very important one is Sramadan. Fifth one, Sramadan. That means voluntary physical labor. Voluntary physical labor. In order to develop their village, to check the wastage of water without any discrimination, each and every one of the villagers have taken part in the schemes which they adapted themselves in their village. That is called Sramadan. That means to do work voluntarily. So these all are preconditions. By seeing the preconditions of the Hiwadi Bazaar, the village was selected as Adarsh Gram. After selecting as Adarsh Gram, then the government implemented some more facilities to them, and those facilities were CCTs. The first one, after selection of the village as Adarsh Gram, the government under the scheme facilitated some of the facilities. Those are the first one, CCTs. That means continuous counter trenches. Continuous counter trenches were dug on the hill slopes like this. Usually in villages you could see the hills. What they did, they dug the trenches like this. This is the first aim of this continuous counter trenches were to protect the water, rainwater. That means whenever during the time of monsoons or whenever that may be, whenever there will be rain, so that water instead of flowing down, these continuous counter trenches, it will help to percolate the water. Along with that, they planted trees and here to protect the soil erosion. So continuously, if the water is extra water is here, then it will come here, and again here the percolation process is going to be continued. So like that, this is the first step taken by implemented by the government there. The continuous counter trenches were dug at the hill slopes to check the soil erosion and to percolate the water. That is one part of water harvesting. Second one, the government constructed check dams, percolation tanks, check dams. If it is a river, during the time of monsoon or during the time of a rainy season, if we will leave the water to flow, it will, from the tributaries, it will join to the river, and from river to the other river, at last it will join to the sea or an ocean. There is no use. Once if the river water, the fresh water joined in the sea or ocean with the salt water, it is highly expensive to clean the water. Desalinization. It is very expensive, so it is not a common thing to do in our daily life. So before wasting the water or the river water, the fresh water should join with the sea or oceans, we should construct the check dams. If we will build the very big dams, again that will disturb the balancing of the earth part, as continuously one side the water, and very big dams are already constructed in different parts of the our country and the other countries also, which is a very big question for today's ecological system. So we should not do like that. The first very easy and which is possible for each and everyone is check dams, to check the water there itself with a small part of the dams. Then percolation tanks. These percolation tanks, this can be adopted by each and every village people and even in cities also. This is one of the best method for the water harvesting. So apart from this, though here check dams, apart from this, by seeing when the government is also encouraged the village people and with their self restrictions, all the four bandis we have read, along with that the government encouraged to construct the continuous counter, dug the continuous counter trenches, check dams, percolation tanks. Again the villages, what they did, they started again some more restrictions. Those are ban on borewells, for irrigation, borewells we know artificially will extract water to irrigating the fields. So if it is checked, as there is no restriction and there is no appropriate rules and regulations for extracting the water, so borewells were banned in that village. Second one again is growing sugarcane, growing some type of paddy, sugarcane, banana, because these type of cultivation, paddy, sugarcane and banana, they consume more water. So to restrict the water use, this kind of cultivation is also restricted in that village. Then third restriction is selling one's land to any outsiders. Selling one's land to any outsiders. The villagers are not allowed to sell their land part to any others. No business. They are allowed to do cultivation, otherwise any like poultry, otherwise any work in their fields of the by the villagers. Advantages. Now after the implementation of different kind of bans by the villagers, and when the government implemented many schemes in the village, then what are the advantages? Let us see the advantages by all these changes in that village. Advantages. Number one, the improvement in soil moisture, soil moisture levels has helped to increase the productivity. Previously, the village was declared as a drought-prone area, shortage of water. But now, after implementation of different kinds of bans and the government implemented different kind of schemes, then the first improvement is it increases the productivity of the soil as the underground water level increases. Water availability has made a second crop possible as the water level, underground water level increased. So it is possible there to grow a second crop also. Migration elsewhere is reduced. Migration is usually village people from rural to urban migration is more, but in this village, as the different schemes were implemented by the villagers and the village water has improved, so the migration is also reduced. Hence, so even though after implementing all these schemes, even though continuous drought in that area, but that village has no water shortage. But this is up to that village. As we are continuing the Hiwari Bazaar, this is up to that village. But what is about the other village? If one village is restricted, all those things, it's okay. The water level is very good here now. But what is about the other villages? Now the other nearby villages are there where they don't have any restrictions, and continuously they were extracting the water through the bore wells and artificial wells and everything. So the underground water, now you see, water has no rules and regulations, and where artificially with the help of machine, if someone is extracting the water naturally from this place, the water will pass through there, isn't it? So the next topic of the lesson is water as common pool resource. The next topic is water as common pool resource. That means the first sentence of the previous topic is judicious. We should use water in a judicious and fair manner. That is, so if you will see, the water is a common pool of source. Each and everyone should get equal amount of water. But is it happening? No, it is never. Why? Because the present rules and regulations or laws are inappropriate and not up to date. Those are once upon a time. At that time, might have been you don't have any idea of underground water and how it is depleting day by day, and how problems you are facing, how we are facing the problems due to water shortage. At that time, the rules were restricted only few parts of the water, as in between the two states, as already we have read, in between the Tungabhadra river, Krishna river, that is shared by three states. That is, one is Karnataka and Telangana and Andhra, conflicts in between the states always there for the water use. But no rules and regulations are there to use the underground water. So the water level is depleting day by day. current, very important question this one is the current laws. So now the people are demanding are outdated and inappropriate. Those laws, rules and regulations which were made were outdated, old enough and not appropriate for today's situation. So what we have to do, one example is given in your textbook. That is Perumutti village of Kerala and the Coca-Cola company, where the Coca-Cola company is continuously extracting the water for its personal use for the company, and not only the problem is extraction of water, as due to the over extraction of water, it is leading to the completion of underground water and water shortage in that village. Apart from that, the outlet, the effluents of the company is making the underground water poisonous. So if it is used, if they were using it for the growing of crop, then that is also one kind of poison, and if they were using it for the purpose of drinking is also a poisonous water. So the village people were raising voice against the company and against the company to change the rules and regulations regarding the underground water also. The land, it may be a less part or more part, but the appropriate law should be made by the government to fetch the water equally by each and everyone. So as the village people of Perumutti in Kerala, they were demanding to change the new rules and regulations appropriately for each and everyone. So that is pending till the case was pending in Supreme Court. Hence, it is our responsibility for each and everyone to think about the sustainability and to think over the underground water. If you will go on extracting the water without thinking of the second generation or the next generation, then maybe in future it is very difficult for us to get even drinking water also. So the water usage must be equitable and rational, and the laws and rules and regulations should be appropriated and up to date. Thank you.